Have you ever wondered how some of the most dangerous female criminals built vast empires only to see their reigns come crashing down? From drug trafficking to leading ruthless gangs, these women led lives filled with power, violence, and eventually prison sentences. In today's video, we will delve into the stories of the most notorious female gang leaders who not only dominated the criminal underworld, but also paid the ultimate price, life in prison. Stay tuned because these tales are as shocking as they are captivating. Number 1. Sandra Ávila Beltrán, the Queen of the Pacific. Sandra Ávila Beltrán, often referred to as the Queen of the Pacific by the media, was a key figure in the Mexican drug cartel scene. Her rise to power was largely due to her family's deep-rooted connections to some of the most powerful criminal organizations. Born into a family that had strong ties to Rafael Caro Quintero, a former leader of the Guadalajara cartel, Sandra was no stranger to the underworld. She was also related to the Beltrán Leiva brothers, who were influential figures in the Sinaloa cartel. Her criminal pedigree didn't stop there. Sandra's uncle, Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo, also known as the Godfather, was the head of the Mexican drug trade. Her family had been involved in heroin smuggling during the 1970s and eventually transitioned into cocaine trafficking. Sandra herself was known for using the cartel's trademark intimidation tactics, and she wasn't afraid to resort to violence. Sandra's romantic entanglements also played a significant role in her rise to power. She was married twice, both times to former police officers who later became drug traffickers. Both of her husbands were ultimately assassinated. Her relationship with Juan Diego Espinosa Ramirez, a key figure in Colombia's Norte del Valle cartel, only strengthened her position in the drug trade. However, her downfall came when police seized over 9 tons of cocaine in 2001, linking the shipment to her and her lover. Despite her best efforts to evade law enforcement, Sandra was eventually arrested in 2007 and extradited to the U.S. in 2012 to face charges of drug trafficking and organized crime. Number 2. Maria Licciardi, the Iron Lady of Naples. In the heart of Naples, Maria Licciardi rose to power within the infamous Camorra criminal organization. Born into a family deeply entrenched in crime, Maria's father and brothers were well-known members of the Camorra. After her husband and brothers were arrested, Maria took the reins and became the first female boss of the Secondigliano Alliance, a powerful coalition of Camorra gangs. Under her leadership, the alliance became more organized, secretive, and powerful. Maria revolutionized the clan's operations, introducing prostitution as a new revenue stream, a practice previously banned by the Camorra. Unfortunately, this also led to the exploitation of underage girls who were often drugged and forced into prostitution. Maria's rule came to an abrupt end after a dispute over a heroin shipment. She refused to sell the unrefined drug, fearing it was too potent for users. This decision led to a falling out with the LaRusso clan, who packaged and sold the heroin anyway, resulting in numerous overdoses across Naples. The public outcry prompted a massive police crackdown on the Camorra. Maria was arrested and sentenced to prison, where she continued to command her clan from behind bars. Although released in 2009, her criminal career was far from over. In 2021, she was rearrested while attempting to flee to Spain and sentenced to over 12 years in prison. Number 3. Judy Moran, the matriarch of Melbourne's underworld. Judy Moran is one of the most notorious female figures in Australia's criminal history, particularly within Melbourne's underworld. Born Judith Ann Brooks in 1944, she married into the Moran family, a central player in Melbourne's infamous gangland wars. Judy's life mirrors the plot of a gangster film, riddled with tragedy and crime. Her first husband, Leslie Johnny Cole, a prominent figure in the Melbourne underworld, was killed in a gang-related conflict in 1982, a brutal beginning to a series of family tragedies. Her 2 sons, Mark and Jason Moran, both followed in their father's footsteps, becoming deeply involved in organized crime. Mark Moran, who had changed his surname in an attempt to escape his father's violent legacy, was assassinated in 2000 in front of his home, a crime suspected to be part of the gangland conflicts. Jason Moran, no stranger to violence, met a similarly gruesome end in 2003 when he was gunned down while sitting in a van with his children at a sports field. Adding to this string of murders, Judy's second husband, Louis Moran, was shot dead in 2004 in a Melbourne pub. Despite the devastating loss of her immediate family, Judy Moran remained deeply entrenched in criminal activity. In 2009, her brother-in-law, Des Moran, was killed in yet another act of gangland retribution. Judy's involvement in Des's murder led to her arrest when police found weapons, stolen license plates, and disguises in her home, evidence of her active participation in the crime. In 2011, she was convicted of his murder and sentenced to 26 years in prison, with a minimum term of 21 years before parole eligibility. Judy Moran's story is a stark reminder of the violent and tragic life of a matriarch who once ruled Melbourne's criminal world. Number 4. Rosetta Cutolo, the mastermind behind Italy's NCO Syndicate. Rosetta Cutolo, though often overshadowed by her brother, Raffaele Cutolo, was a formidable force in the Italian criminal world, controlling the Nuova Camorra Organizzata, NCO, from behind the scenes. Her brother Raffaele, the flamboyant leader of the NCO, spent much of his time in prison due to his high-profile crimes. While he maintained a media presence and acted as the face of the organization, it was Rosetta who kept the family's criminal empire running. Her ability to manage the organization's complex operations, negotiate drug deals, and handle relations with other mafia families was key to the NCO's expansion. Her strategy of living modestly, tending to her garden, and staying out of the public eye served her well for years, allowing her to evade law enforcement while maintaining control over the family's vast criminal network. However, in 1993, her luck ran out. After years of operating under the radar, Rosetta was arrested and sentenced to prison for her involvement in the organization. Although she was acquitted of several murder charges, her reputation as one of Italy's most cunning and dangerous female criminals remains intact, and her leadership was vital in keeping the NCO a feared entity during its heyday. Number 5. Maria Leon, the ruthless matriarch of Los Angeles' Drew Street Gang. Maria Leon is the head of a vast criminal empire that includes drug trafficking, murder, and gang activity. A mother of 13 children, Maria led the Drew Street Gang in Los Angeles, a violent offshoot of the larger 18th Street Gang. Her reign of terror came to a head when one of her sons, Danny Leon, was killed in a shootout with police in 2008. In a desperate attempt to attend his funeral, Maria sought the help of human smugglers to cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. Her plan was foiled, leading to her arrest. She was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but their lives were filled with power, violence, and betrayal. But in the end, the law caught up with them. From drug lords to gang leaders, their stories serve as a stark reminder that no one is above the law. If you found these stories fascinating, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more captivating content like this. Thanks for watching and stay safe.